And we are live. We can get it started. We'll just go on slow motion for a little bit. Let some of you guys join in for the live stream. If you're watching this after the fact, you know it's episode 4. And we'll see how today's video goes. I'm pretty excited. I think we've gotten through one bad tide so far, but I feel like we're at the point where we're not struggling to, or I guess scrambling, just to get everything set up. Now we can actually focus a little bit more on refining what we have and then expanding outwards. One of those things will be the scrap metal. As you can see here, we are almost done collecting this, but we already set it up so that we have access to way more scrap metal over here. And then I also think that we were going to work on getting to this mine. So the hope is to get to that area today, I think. Might not be, but if we could at least get over here, then we can think about unlocking the mine. It's 4,000 science. We do have a good amount. We're at 2,000 right now. And then we do have the observatory. So this will give us a good amount of science. Every 3/4 of an hour we get 10 science, which is even better than the number cruncher. Main downside is that it uses power and beaver power. But either way, we just started a new wet season. It is already cycle 10. We've been going through 3 or 4 cycles per season, or per live stream so far. So we've been powering through. As you saw from the thumbnail of this video, we have this structure. This is going to be our reservoir. We'll see how this works out. I don't know exactly what the final footprint of this is going to look like. But for now, we're starting with this. And then, now I'm thinking about it, we'll need to continue the levees over here. But we'll wait for them to start constructing some of this. And then we'll need to get them on top so they can place down the impermeable barriers. And then we also need to make sure we don't need to go down here anymore. So I'm going to hold off on finishing this. So we probably won't have access to this reservoir for 1 or 2 wet seasons would be my guess. And then do we have our water pumpers on? It looks like it. We can hold 3,600 water. We're up to 600, almost 700. We do have 12 vacant jobs, so that is quite a few. We have no vacant beds though. Do we have builders working on stuff? Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 builders' huts. This one is empty. Let's take a quick look at our jobs. The main thing that we see is that the second builder's hut, which is also low on the priority list, does have some beavers in it. So that is good news. We can pause some of the bad water pumps. And then we're missing a lot of inventors, but those are not essential jobs anymore. In fact, I would bump all these down to lowest because we have the observatory working, which is it's just way more efficient to have that. Then we still have some lumberjack flags paused. Yeah, I think that we're looking good right now. But we do need to get some more houses constructed. I think I want to upgrade these ones to doubles. We do have only 200 wood. it was something else that I noticed. I want to start replanting some of these trees with oak trees instead. And then these guys should be able to reach all this. Looks like it. We have 3 of them who are constantly chopping trees down. And then we have a good amount marked. So they'll continue working on that. What about back here? I think that we're going to mark all these ones to be chopped down as well. Also, I noticed that we have wood stored up here. I have no idea why that's the case. Let's have them work on that. But I do see we have our zipline station up here. I do remember we wanted to try and get some water flowing into this section. And then we also wanted to work on blocking this off. And so we have 1 zip line. Okay, so we're getting the path set up. Working our way over here. Maybe we'll go like that. But then we will need to extend the path so they can actually reach the zipline pylon. We can get over there. We just need to get close enough. Oh, there's like a wall of trees. Not the most efficient, but it's the way that we have to get over here. We can do a little bit of rearranging. And this guy is working on getting those trees chopped down, so we will be able to... Well, we probably won't rearrange the path, honestly. It would be nice to get another zip line that connects into this. We have one right here. And that's probably something that we'll focus on today, is getting the zipline station in a good spot. We could bump this up. Although, what's more important right now? We don't really need to get over here. I think I'd rather get over here first. So let's change the priorities a little bit. Drop all this down to low. We have this on low also. So let's start by... We'll wait till the next day, and then we can remove these houses, put the double lodges back, and then bump it up on the priority list. And then maybe we want to get a second zip line constructed over here, at least temporarily. Doesn't have to be the permanent solution. I think we could also remove this one. Instead, we could just remove this one. Because right now they could just hop in here, zigzag. It's not too inefficient. And then this will allow us to work much faster. Because we are already most of the way there. This guy's carrying a few planks. Does it tell you how much they're carrying? Yeah, carrying planks 4. 12 out of 14 kilograms. Yep, just 4 more and then we'll be set on that. We will need to extend the path once again. So we can go right along here. And then we can get this all constructed. Might as well connect this path in. So we'll let them work on that. We can start speeding it up just a little bit. And then tomorrow we can replace these houses. But I see we are barely going up in water, which is not good. So I'm going to start unpausing some of these water pumpers because we want to make sure we have enough water stored up. But we need to do some rearranging of the jobs. we have 14 vacant jobs. And even if 6 of them are these inventors' huts. Oh wait, real quick. Let's do this. Before I start diving into analyzing the colony, let's place down super high prioritize this. And then we can place down, ooh, we might want to do 2 of the triples instead. We'll do that. We can remove every time. It bumps the logs on top. Let's remove all this now. That's the only way that I know to get it off the roof. We can remove this and this and this path. Dang it, wrong path. We've already, no, we didn't get the one underneath. There we go. Now we can add in some stairs. And then all this, bump it up, because we don't want to have any homeless beavers at the end of the day. But in terms of jobs we can pause, we have a builder's hut, which is 4. And then we have another builder's hut, which is another 2 jobs. So we're at 6. Plus another 6 inventor's huts. And then I think we have a lumberjack flag. So that's the 13. So if we go, I mean, ideally I want this to be at 10 or fewer, or 11 or fewer. But if we're at 15, we'll be okay. We're not pulling from some of the essential jobs. Because everything else, I want to make sure we have enough workers. We can always reduce our hauling post by a little bit, but not ideal. So we have, this is almost done. We'll bump it up slightly, and then bump it up slightly. Look at that, they are finishing constructing all this very quickly. We are going down in trees, but we have some more over here. We can bump this up to normal. And then I'll need to continue planting oak trees, because we had a lot of pine trees. And since we have enough over here for the tapper shack, which we're not even, we have 60 pine resin. Oh, we're just about maxed out on treated planks, but I think this is paused anyways. So yeah, we need to add more beavers. Pump that up a little bit. Now we can start adding some housing on top of this. We can remove this. I think we can go with spiral staircases. So we'll put one here, and then just start working our way up to the 2nd story. Also, let me know how the audio quality is. I rearranged my setup so things are a little bit different than I'm used to. But if I need to make adjustments, just let me know. And then I think that these I intended to be temporary. I wanted to bump it up to double and triple lodges. I think up here I should just do that right off the bat. So if we go another couple triple lodges. We can go, oh goodness. I think we want to walk, whoops. Want to connect this all in. I'm trying to think of what makes the most sense. We can't go above here. I think if we put a double and then a triple. But I want to be able to get past here. Does this make sense? We could also, instead we could just go like this. Have our path go all the way around the front. And then we'll go like this. So that way they can reach both. And then we don't block the front. Because I do intend to have maybe some storages. Oh yeah. If I want storages, then I can't have these be doubles. That is so not what I want. Okay, there we go. Move that. Go to singles. But then it would be nice to access the storages going up from here. We can always do that with this. We're doing a lot of rearranging. But we haven't constructed anything yet, so this is the time to do that. We already have the entrance really close over here. That just might not be worth it. So we can remove that. For now, we'll go all the way across. And then we can still connect that in. And then we have to go like this. Bada bing, bada boom. And then we get some more storages. And then we will continue placing rooftop terraces. We have this. Okay, well now let's see. We'll probably keep the single houses, and then we can do storages, and then rooftop terraces on top. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then realistically we can only go with the medium warehouses. So that I like how that is. So we have a lot going on. Let's bump up some of the priority. We need to get access to walk over here. As long as we do that, then we should be fine. In fact, we can bump it all up. Because we want to get some free beds and have some more babies born. Our wood stores, they are dropping a little bit. We're down to 100. And we're going to be working on this soon. But that is going to start freeing this area up. Because I think that all drains down here. Yeah. We have a good amount of planks though. Oh, look at that. They finished that immediately. So what do we want to switch to store in here? We have a good amount of food storage because we have sunflower seeds, we have spatterdock, and then grilled spatterdock, grilled potatoes. So we don't have a lot of carrot storage, but we also don't have a lot of carrots in general. Even with the beehives. We could probably get one more right here, and then just help those carrots out a little bit. But then again, we also should think about getting a second farm. Ideally, when we have this water seep, because we're going to block this part off, I could extend that over here, but for now we'll stick with this. And then we'll get some dynamite going through this area, have that push the water into here. We'll probably make a channel that goes through, and then we'll have the channel lead to this, and then this will actually create some natural little ponds. I think I'll want to get some dams set up over here to help irrigate everything. And we could also do some sort of reservoir system since this water seep is higher in elevation than this. So we could maybe just make a little reservoir over here. We won't pump any water out of this, and then we can use the sluices to open up when the water elevation drops to a certain level. So that's what I'm thinking about that. And then we can always contain some of the bad water effects down the road. But in the meantime, they did that. We'll just switch one to berries, I guess. One to... what else? I'm not really maxed out on anything else. We don't have any sunflower or not sunflower, dandelion storage. So we'll switch to that. And on the bright side, we have 12 children. Whoa. I think a lot of them, oh my gosh. Every single child except for 2 was born, I think, last night. So we're going to have a wave of beavers. Thankfully, we have a lot of jobs that we could toss them into. So I'm not worried about unemployed beavers. In fact, we should start setting up some jobs over here for scrap metal collection. This is a job that's pretty far away. We'll get 3 set up. One of them will be low, these 2 will be normal. Might rearrange that down the road. We have a lot of berries over here. This is prime real estate, so I think we'll need to plant some berries somewhere else. But I'm not in a rush to do that. And then we don't really need these paths anymore, so we can remove a lot of these. And then we'll just make sure we don't remove that pylon. Nope, don't want to do that. Leave the stairs. No use in removing those. This guy can reach all those trees. What we can do, one of my favorite quality of life changes is that you can just remove stumps. Ooh, we missed a tree? No, we have this one. In fact, he's working on it right now. So we'll come back and remove those stumps later. 13 vacant jobs, like we discussed. That's not too bad. It's an alright amount. We can keep replacing some of these trees with oak trees. This guy is doing nothing. We will pause him for now. In fact, let's unpause the tapper shack. Let's get some of the pine resin stored up, because we will want to be constructing treated planks down the road. And so just having a little bit of a buffer, because it takes a while for pine resin to grow up. I think it's like 10 or 12 days. Oh, it's not that bad. 7 days, 2 pine resin, but we don't have like a huge amount of trees. I'm feeling confident with this because it extends all the way over here. And then, yeah, we don't have these trees marked to be chopped down. But still, if we really ramp up treated plank production, then we'll need to expand even more. We have another unstable core. Ooh. Oh yeah, they removed the... So now you can't use the mouse for going down. For me personally, I like that one. I think that some people did not like that, but I did get used to it. So the unstable core, we are just on the edge of the range, but it will not impact us. In the last episode when we constructed the sluice, we had it set over one more, and when we clicked on this, it actually showed this as red because the teeth were within the blast zone, because it's going to be right along these X's here, and then for these 4 as well. But this is not going to impact us because we had that blocked off, and then I think it's just far enough away that the contamination should not be a problem. Then we have lots of trees. How have we not removed all the logs from here? Oh, you know, wait a second. Is this guy tossing logs in here because for him? No, that can't be closer. Because this increases movement speed by 150%. But even that still is farther than this is, I would think. We have this set to normal. And they just remove those trees so fast. Okay, our log stores are continuing to go down. We have all these lumberjacks working. We might need to unpause another one. Although we're at 15 vacant jobs, so we are maxed out. Thankfully water's going up. It's day 9. We're only at 1,500. Honestly, it's not as much water as I would like. Oh my gosh, we have the water pumps. Well, no wonder we're going down in water. I had these water pumps going. Yikes. Well, at least I figured it out at some point. We do have these two. This guy. Let's see if we can. I don't know where this guy is, so we can remove him. Have him collect the scrap metal. And then we can get rid of this guy soon. So we're down to 11. So that's a little bit better. There's another job I wanted to focus on. What was it? Oh yeah, it was lumberjack flags. Unpause one of them. We'll unpause one for now. And we have blocked this area off. We have these ones that we're working on. But on the bright side, this area should now drain. So if we go down in elevation, it will not drain. Okay, because we've blocked it off. Okay. Interesting. So what if I want to drain the bad water, we'll need to have a diversion tunnel and then do a second row of logs and then remove these, not logs, of levees. We do have access over here. That might be worth setting up because we do have tunnels unlocked. So let's set 2 rows of tunnels right here. We have the sluice, so the bad water won't come back this way. It'll flow through, and then now it actually will flow out because there was an unstable core that detonated, and you can see the remnants of it. I don't remember if it was a natural blockage or if it was just dirt was here. But either way, the bad water will flow out. And then before, I bet there's an unstable core. Oh, maybe there's not. But before it could go, oh interesting, it could go up and then down here. Whoa. Oh, there's another mine over here. I think we noticed it in the last episode. Wow, so you could irrigate a lot. What is this elevation at? It's at 10. So if we go way over here, that's well above what this is. So realistically, that ain't happening with this. But if we go down, they can reach all this. We can also start placing 2 of the levees. We will not block it off, otherwise we can't reach it, but we probably also need to extend the path. So we can leave it like that for now. Let them work on that as they can. Water's going up. Went up almost 3,000 as soon as we pause those fluid dumps. We're maxed out on power. We also added a bunch of water wheels last episode, so we go all the way under here. These guys are producing... It's probably cyclical, but we're producing 3,500-ish. And then we have the bad water over here. We can always tie into that. Oh, wait, let's see. It was always going this way. Yeah. Just a few pieces of scrap metal left, and then he'll be donezo. We're back up to 14 vacant jobs, but we have 20 children. Let's go to the very bottom and see. A lot of them are at 80%. A few were born a few days ago. Are we going to have enough jobs for them? We know that we don't really care about 6 of those jobs because those are inventors' huts. So really, we only have 7 jobs that they would go into today. We can always unpause the gatherer flag. We could get some more explosives. We can unpause some of these jobs. We are maxed out on bad water. Unstable core. We can watch this one detonate. If we get there in time. Slow it down. Because right now we have this set to closed. We don't need this to be open. And then when this detonates, bad water's just going to get right up next to it. But it shouldn't impact us. And you can see that it got real close. But now it's just filled up, and then... Oh, I guess it goes up in elevation. But these do not connect. They are darn close. And then this should pressurize, and then this will just continue on the path it was going before, which I believe is up through here. Hello, Sand Artist. Welcome to the live stream. We actually had a few more people join. Welcome, everyone. We are getting to the end of the wet season on cycle 10. But so far, things are looking good. Water went back up after I paused the fluid dumps that were turned on for the entirety of this wet season. Logs are starting to go back up a little bit. I do need to unpause this forester. If we see this unemployed, or sorry, if we see the vacant jobs rise above 15, then we have a problem. Ideally, I want it to be closer to 11. But on the bright side, we have 22 children. Oh, we have a bad tide showing up. But of those children, we have a lot of them are at 97%, so they're going to be grown up here very shortly. And then we can have some jobs we can toss them into. We have now blocked this part off. There was an unstable core here, and then that filled everything up. And then it was going down into here until we blocked it. But we blocked this preemptively. So now we're working on getting... Ooh. You know what? As soon as they remove all this, the water's going to start flowing through here. So we'll need to get a levee set up. So we'll just need to make sure we do that immediately. In fact, we can probably do this during the bad tide. So we'll just make sure we pause both of these. And then when the bad tide hits... Oh, we don't want to do it during the bad tide because then we're going to lose all the water. I think we'll do this during the beginning of the next wet season, or like partway in. Yeah. Because we can remove these, and then we'll have all this bad water drain out. Something else that we will be working on is over here. We have this water seep, and I intend to have the water go over here, and then we can irrigate all this, which we can make some of this green space and then use that. Because that's much more useful than a bad water lake. And look at that, now we have 4 vacant jobs instead of 14. So what are some jobs that we can unpause because we don't really need 2 of these jobs to be filled, which are these inventor sets. But it's good overflow at the moment. We can unpause a lumberjack flag. He won't be able to reach hardly anything. And then those trees are dead. We can continue replanting some oak trees. We are doing good on bad water. Gears and planks are looking good. We can unpause gear workshop and explosives factory. We are almost maxed out on extract. We're not really using it for much at the moment. Wood workshop. We don't have that many treated planks. But we also don't have a lot of storage for it either. Well, yeah. One thing I wanted to do was to add some more underground storage over here. And we can do that. And then we'll want to add some more storage on top of this. We need to figure out how we want to get over here. I think we want to use some zip lines to go across. And they constructed this quickly. They are probably running out of stuff to do. Although we do have... Oh, they can't reach any of this. Well, let's fix that. There we go. Now they can actually construct this stuff. We can still bump that up because they already put everything in. Yeah, the beginning of the streams are a little bit slower typically. Also, Sand Artist, are you able to notice that you can choose HD for the stream quality now? I went through the stream settings and that should be the case. We have all of this over here that they have not really worked on a whole lot. Because they should be able to reach all this, I believe. But it takes logs. Ooh, we're running a little bit low on metal blocks. We'll probably need to add some more overhangs here so we can get another smelter. 4x1. Oh yeah, so do I need to make it bigger than this? This is a 5x1. I think that should be good. Then we can just go right back here. This can be a normal one. And then, can they reach all this? Yeah, once they construct this, they can build those. And this guy is Dunzo. Remove him. Oh, look it. We had this right here and I didn't even realize it. Let's collect all that. And then now we have some scrap metal. We are doing good on scrap metal. We'll bump that up to normal. And then let's make sure we have another smelter. We'll get that guy constructed right here. And then we can add one more. And then what do we want to have next to it? For now, we'll just have these two. Pause this, because I gotta finish constructing those first. And then once I do that, we can get that finished. And then this reservoir, I am excited to see how this turns out. They're taking their time on it. We could always add another builder's hut. And then up here seems like a good spot, maybe in this section. Because really we don't need the builders' huts to be close to anything. Because the beavers just wait there when they're not doing something. But day in and day out, we don't need them to be too close. We go along here maybe. Get those builders' huts constructed. We'll do 3. And then I think we have one will be, let's see, we should have one set to lower. And then we can remove those two. This one over here is, well, super, I don't know, maybe we should leave it. This one's not really in the way at the moment. These two are a little bit in the way. Thank you, Sand Artist. Glad that you enjoyed it. Oh, we had the bad tide. So in the last episode, for those who were not here, we actually set up a bad water excuse me, you set up a bad water diversion system. So when these all just closed. So now this is going to fill this up, and then bad water is going to continue rising up through here, and then it's going to overtop this, and then it's going to start spilling out and go all the way around, and then meet up with this bad water river that is the result of 2 different bad water sources. This is going to amount to nothing because there's going to build up a little bit of pressure and then it's just going to go backwards. But right now we have the bad water diversion system up and running, fully functional. You know, they're probably not going to work on this stuff until they finish this reservoir. And then we also need to make sure they can actually reach all this. We can leave those as normal. We can bump these corner ones up to normal because I want them to do that first. Because otherwise they might not be able to reach it. Yeah, I'm in the southeast, and we got some of the snow. Really, it was freezing rain last Sunday, and you couldn't really go anywhere on Sunday, but thankfully it seemed like there were minimal power outages around our area. And then it kind of, for the most part, the roads were drivable the next day. So Monday wasn't too bad. But it is snowing right now. So I'm going to get to go out and enjoy some snow after this stream. We can unpause this power shaft and also connect this in. Maybe we'll get another smelter set up. Ooh, you know what we need to work on is getting bots. Before we do that, though, we probably need to get even more gear and plank production. Yeah, we probably need to do that. Should we go up a third level? We might want to do it over this. We could leave some berries over here maybe, and just get some overhangs set up. How are we doing on power? These guys are producing some. And then we're not really using a whole lot yet. 1270 is not too bad. Sounds like a possible good bad water source. You talking about these ones? Because right now we have this over here, which is functioning as much as we need at the moment. We could probably add a zipline station over here. But we don't need to do that quite yet. And they did get, it looks like, both of those corners set up. We have our smelter running. We are doing good on scrap metal. I think that we can remove this and then add in another smelter. And then let's high prioritize this. Get that constructed. Oh, they collected that immediately. Ooh, we have 17. Oh, geez. Hold up. Pause. Pause all of these. Thankfully, we only have a 2-day bad tide, so the water's going to come back pretty quickly. But I forgot to pause all that, which is why I want to get this reservoir set up so I don't need to worry about pausing and unpausing them. Also, how do we get down to so few... Oh, I know how. It's because we built all these builder sets. Okay, let's just remove these two. Collect all that wood. Cool. Okay, I was concerned at how we had so few jobs. Or had so many vacant jobs. 2.8 thousand water. So we're doing fine. Doing great on water. Let the water return. Fill this back up. We do have this area set up, so now we can get another underground pile. We have... I forget that they reduce the cost of this, so we're actually really not concerned at all about having this constructed. We have logs, planks. We should do scrap metal. We're going to set that to scrap metal. I think we'll get some more storage over here. We can remove the berries at some point. Ooh, we can also get some well-being for the beavers. Oh wait, I was considering not going directly on top, because we could get some decorations right in between here, or get some stairs if we want to keep going up. So instead, we'll have it offset by 1. I might rearrange this section down the road, but for now we'll leave it like that. We can also get a lot more... Oh, you know what? We're going to take advantage of the storage system. Get this, set it to scrap metal, have it set to supply, prioritized by haulers, and that way we can have the scrap metal collectors be much more efficient, and then also get a few more. This guy will eventually go through that, then we can start expanding the other direction. But for now we'll do 2 more, then they can reach around here if they need to. Because if we block the scrap metal, they can't collect it. Pump both of those up. Excellent. Supply by haulers. We only have 3 vacant jobs. We can unpause. Well, we're not going to unpause the water pumps quite yet. Instead, as soon as we have some water flowing through here and can build that back up a little bit. There's a bit of... We set that to open. Push the water out through there. There we go. Look at that. So that's going to help clear the bad water out a little quicker. "14 inches of snow? Oh my gosh. Because you're up in Pennsylvania. You guys didn't get hit with any freezing rain though, right? It was just the... just snow. I say just, but a lot of snow, sounds like. Getting all the bad water shoved out. I will say, Games Nation, if you're watching, which I assume you would have said something if you were, but you suggested putting in these sluices, and that was a good idea. Contamination is dropping precipitously, which is excellent. And they've almost gotten it all done, then we can close this again. We can uncheck that. We could have this one where it, because this is set to close above contamination, this one could be set to close below contamination instead. And we could be strict. So it's at 2%, same as this one, and set to auto. And that'll be for both of these. So this should now take care of the contamination. So what we'll have is, instead of the bad water boiling up and then going through this route like it was before, instead what'll happen, well, let's go way back down. Instead what's going to happen is this is going to close when the contamination starts creeping up. This will open, and they'll start shoving bad water up through here instead. Just like, it's kind of similar to what it's been doing. Instead of going through here, it'll just come around here. And then it'll clear it out for us quicker. And they built all that so fast. So now we are building our water reserves up. Water's going to start going through here. Now we can try and clear that bad water lake by going down and unpausing these last 2. And then also removing all of these. collect all those planks because we could definitely use those. We're not low on planks, but just having them always a good idea. And then hopefully they still reach these. Looks like it. We can start the process of placing this down, because as soon as they get rid of these, the water's just all going to flow out and we're going to lose our water source up top. So if they can preemptively place some of this. Oh my gosh, Sand Artist, you gave 5 memberships? That is very generous. Okay, so we have a few people who just got some free memberships, or gifted memberships I should say. Just NPC 19, Nikita, Cornelia, Anderson De Silva, the Nelson, and Derb. So all you guys, clearly you have been watching. So welcome to the channel. Good morning, Lucky. Winter Wonderland, it's also snowing where I am. We finally had the beavers coming down here. Lucky, you showed up when Sand Artist just gifted a bunch of people some memberships. So Sand Artist, it seems like you found how to do that. I know that in a couple episodes ago you were trying, but were not able to, so I'm glad that it works. And then we will pause this as soon as we get to 12, because we do not want to trap any beavers. But if they can make both of those, then we will leave these, because it's not worth whoopsies. It's not worth trying to collect all that extra. It's only a few planks, but I'd rather have this get constructed and then not have all the water leave. Okay. Oh, hopefully. Oh, they're not going to finish it overnight. Dang it. Don't love that. So far, the water level, it's dropping. Oh my. All the water's leaving. Nothing we can do about it. We'll just wait till morning. Thank you, Sand Artist. I appreciate it. So you did it on the PC. Good to know. So you can only do it on PC and not on the phone. Ooh, all the water's gone. Okay, as soon as we can get this just finally finished. Okay, excellent. So that will send ripples and start filling everything back up again. It's very interesting. You can see how where it's finally topping back off. And so now, this is probably a little pressurized. Maybe a little bit, not too much. But we'll let the water continue flowing through there. And now we can move this. Let the bad water leave. And so then we should start to see, yeah, this whole thing is draining now. And then honestly, we probably want to remove all of these. Just to help it leave a little bit quicker. Morning Games Nation. I think that gifting memberships is just a random thing, so I don't think he can pick who he gives it to. But I'm glad to see that you are here. I know I mentioned that you helped help me decide to install some sluices for our bad water diversion system, which I'm not sure if you were there, but we did utilize these. We now have these set to close below contamination of 2% and it's set to auto because it helps clear the bad water out after a bad tide. It's faster than having the water just go up because there's kind of a little stale pocket right here. And now the water looks like it's coming back. It hasn't quite... Oh, there we go. Now it's making its way through here. We have no... We're perfectly balanced. 81 jobs, 81 working beavers, so we can unpause these water pumpers. Because now we have more beavers. I just added 2 of these triple lodges, so that's... I think there's 9 in each, so that's 18 more beavers. So we gotta make sure we have enough water stored up. Food, we're doing good on. Spatterdock is definitely our main crop. We have 3 and 3. We are doing fantastic on science. We have over 7,000 now. We added a couple more of these scavenger flags. Okay, so we can continue going over here now. We have 10 vacant jobs. But I think that we also have an extra builder's hut. So we can leave this at low priority. This one's also at low. So we have those 2 plus 6 inventor's huts. So what does that put us at? 14? If you have 14 jobs that are vacant, I'm not too concerned. Also add in a few more trees. This guy should be able to reach everything. Maybe we have birch trees over here because these ones die off periodically. Although, can this guy actually even reach? He kind of can. And then we've gone... Ooh, look at that. We are over here. Let's remove all those and cancel it. And then now we can start doing some dynamite. Let's go like this. We'll add in some levees or sluices down the road. We have bad water pooled right down here. So now we also need to think about going along here, carving out a channel so that the water doesn't just flood the whole area. Let's go like this. We'll just stick with a double for now. Need to make a little bit of a mouth for the water. And then they won't be able to reach a lot of this. We have this blocked off. But now we don't necessarily need to have that blocked off. So let's undo part of it. We'll remove this, and then we should be able to reach this still. This, oh, it's not connected in. We can do this though. If we remove a couple of those paths, get some stairs set up, And then we just got to get some paths going over here as well. And they built a lot of this immediately. Let's remove this one. We'll just connect everything in. So, Lucky, you mentioned you're in a winter wonderland. Oh, hit my mic. Remind me where you are. You're somewhere on the East Coast, I believe. I know that Sand Artist is up in Pennsylvania. Sounds like you guys got a bunch of snow last weekend, because I know that basically all of central and eastern US last weekend got hit with like a major snowstorm, blizzard, freezing rain epidemic. But the area that I'm in the southeast, we did get impacted. For the most part, it was fine. You didn't really want to drive on Sunday. We have both our smelters running. We are starting to go up in metal blocks. We don't have a whole lot of storage for them. Let's do this. We can remove these berries because we have an entire other one. And then we can place down some dynamite. We can unlock this because we have so much science. And then we'll get some more. We'll get another underground pile set up. North Carolina. We'll go up to 5 inches on the ground and still coming down. See if we can collect all this. Yeah, the Carolinas are seeing a good amount of snow and freezing rain these last weekend. Now it's just snow, which is much preferred over freezing rain. -10, that's nuts. I don't think I've lived anywhere that has gotten below 0. I don't think that I've lived anywhere where it's been below 0. We are working our way over here. So they have all this constructed. They should be able to reach this. Yeah, let's bump that up. We have enough explosives. I think we could... Okay, so if we detonated this, what's the downside? We just flood everything. We'd start clearing the bad water out. I think that is probably worth it, honestly. Let's detonate this. Need to add in some platforms to get across. And then they're going to be walking in water. I don't know, does that slow them down at all? I'm not sure. And so I'm looking forward to having some green space over here. And then they can reach all of this. So we'll just let them finish that as they can. We have part of the reservoir set up. We can continue going up. I hope they can reach this in the corner. Looks like they can. And then we can also place down these. We'll lower the priority for these ones though. Or maybe we just bump this up. Go all the way across. so we can get around a good part of the map. We can go over here, up to this area, all the way around. One thing I did want to do is try and get access to over here. We don't necessarily need to have the mine up and running yet, but I do want to make it so we don't need to worry about if we run out of scrap metal over here. So maybe we make a transfer station. We can get, well, let's see. In reality, we have the metal blocks right here. We'll continue building overhangs, but we could put a zip line right around here. Well, then again, we do have the storage over here, so maybe we go just this direction, a completely different one from this. It's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So we might want to remove some of these inventors' huts, which we are not even using. We can collect the wood, but then we can get another zipline station set up. Maybe we remove, we'll lower this, then we can fit the zipline somewhere on the edge maybe. And then I think we'll just go pylons across until we reach over here. Because we'll have this, we can have the mine entrance right here, and then some storages for scrap metal, and then also for some of the resources we need to produce the scrap metal. Let me just work our way backwards. Fortunately, we needed to have two. We could maybe shift this a little bit. So we're going to go from right here. Now we'll go like this. Over there. And then we can go to right here. And then we'll need to walk over here to construct all this. Detonate this one. Then we can connect that in. And then just start working our way across. So they obviously cannot reach this. It is too far. But if we go around here, just one set of stairs, and then we'll need to go up this way, getting across to this, same deal. And then one more set of stairs. And now we just connect this whole path system in. Jay Sean, good to see you. I feel like it's been a few episodes or a few streams since you've been here, but glad that you're here today. We have all this that they're working on. Oh, we also set this to lower priority. We're gonna bump that back up to normal because I feel like this stuff is not super important. We don't really need to be over here quite yet. So we'll leave all that. We'll just bump everything down. Let's do a quick big picture look at our colony. So we have good access to water. We have 3,000. We can keep going up. We haven't gone up a whole lot lately, but it's still increasing a bit. Food. We have over 2,000. Most of it is spatterdock. We still have a good amount of raw spatterdock that is stockpiled. We don't really have as many potatoes. That's not true. We have 600. We're doing great on potatoes. Sunflower seeds are good. Carrots we're not doing great on. But I think the solution is not to remove these and plant more carrots. It's going to be to add a second farm. And that is what I want to do over here. And it looks like they actually finished placing all the dynamite down to detonate all of this. Hopefully we can channelize this a little bit better now. And then that'll all overseed. We do have some bad water over here still. But that'll slowly dissipate. If we get some dams set up over here. Let's see. Oh, you can go underneath. That's cool. I don't think we need it to be underneath, though. We want to be able to get across it. And conveniently, we have a zipline station right here. Just add in a few sets of stairs. Oh, we don't even need to. They can build it from above. I didn't even think about that. Let's do that. Although we might want to go over here for the farm. So maybe we rearrange this a little bit. We can move it over here. We can always walk down on top of the dam. Wait, will that work? Look at that, that's cool. We can maximize some space. We can then make some farmhouses on top of here. Although realistically, we probably want it to be a little bit more towards the middle because then they'll have a bigger range. Use floodgates instead of the dams. Yeah, I mean there's nothing wrong with putting floodgates here. Dams, you have less control, a little bit fewer resources. But we already have it constructed at this point, so might just leave it for now. I could always upgrade it down the road. Honestly, I'll need to plan out my route over here a little bit better. Right now we're just kind of doing what we can. But I think we'll want to get some farmhouses set up over here and then get a zip line station going across. In fact, I think we'll probably need, it won't say if it's in range or not because this is already connected to 2. Let's just start removing some of these. So we don't need that. They're not going over here anymore. We can add in, oh, you know, we could do 600 science. We have enough. I have not used this before, but this might be handy for trying to go this direction. So let's put one right here. They can't reach it yet, but if we just get a nice little set of stairs. Although real quick, before we do that, how far can it reach? It can go all the way over here. Okay, that's good enough. Although is it? Let's just maximize. Was here. Now it's here. So we'll just get a little bit more. Yeah, so that could reach all the way here if we needed it to. But we're going to definitely build on top of this. The new farm area would make a nice reservoir. Jay Sean, was it you who was talking about the reservoir in in the last live stream? Because we do have one that we're starting over here. This one is going to be a little bit different. But there is actually, now that you mention it, I was intending to block this area off, and then it wouldn't be a big reservoir, but it would be a little bit of something, and then that would effectively service this whole area during a drought or a bad tide. I remember all those emojis. Let's go across. We can also clean the paths up a little bit. Although, I don't know if we want to go that way. But, what we do want to do, work our way in this direction. So let's think about it. I am very excited that we have so many people in the chat right now. This is fantastic. Before we start talking about the farm, so we have Sand Artist, Lucky, Jay Sean, Games Nation, and then we have a few new people. DJ, not sure if you're still watching, but you are one of the newest members from the generosity of Sand Artist. So yeah, I appreciate all of you guys showing up. This is what makes live streaming fun, is being able to interact with you guys. But so I'm going to get a zipline station over here, and then if we want to take advantage of all this space, let's see how far. So we can reach not quite the edge if we have a farm set up. And then over here, same thing. So placing one in the middle will be helpful, but we'll still need one at the edge if we want to use all the green space. Alternatively, we could get some berries and... Oh, is there coffee in this faction? I don't think so. Yeah, blueberries and dandelions. We have different food. We have... Oh yeah, we have... Ooh, we have Spatterdock and cattails. I know that we're doing Spatterdock over here. We have a lot of it, so maybe do some cattails. We can always make a little bit more space. Let's see. We can get over here pretty easily. It's not super close. We have so much going on. Jay Sean does love his water storage. We want to be able to get over here so we can build that reservoir. We'll need to go up 2 tiles for levees, although we're short on wood at the moment. So we'll probably want to do a tree farm over here. This one we can connect into this. Okay, I will need to rearrange some of the zip lines at some point. Should I start with that? Before I start setting up too much stuff. We're doing fine on food. Wood is a little bit lacking. But we do have access to some wood. Oh, we have access to a lot of it over here. We can add in a couple lumberjack flags. Bump those up, and then we'll mark all these trees. I know they won't be able to reach all of them, but that's okay. We'll just start with that. You're doing great on planks and gears. Okay. A lot of dead trees in the just greened area. Yes. Take what the map gives. Yeah, we have all these trees here. Okay. Here, I'm going to take a quick bathroom break, but we will continue at 1x speed. I'll be back very shortly. Okay, I'm back. Lucky goofball. Make some bad water of my own. And then Sandar, she said, didn't answer his question about the cores. Okay, where's Lucky's core question? What cores are left to explode? That's an excellent question. I think that we have a couple more over here. None are active. So we have these two. Also, is there an easy way to see if we go down? No. Not an easy way to see. Let's see, that's a source. We had this one detonate. Might just be those two, as far as I know. I don't know where else any are. I know some of the ones that have exploded. We have the first one right next to us. We had one up here that we actually prevented anything bad from happening for that. We had this one, which caused the whole Badwater Lake. There's one at the end of our underground tunnel. That one detonated. And then two underground right here that detonated. This is a two-stager, but didn't impact us because we were prepared. And then there might have been one or two more. But overall, that's where we're at. Okay, so I wanted to reevaluate my zipline layout because this is kind of a jumbled mess at the moment. One thing that I have been wanting to focus on, but I have not. Let's quickly detonate those. Also speed it up a little bit. Storage. This will be metal blocks, so that'll be something for them to work on. But like I said, one thing I do want to focus on is getting I guess you would call it a third level, because we have the ground level. Second story is where the storages are. We're at the third level, but I want to build those buildings up, replace these with triple and double lodges, and then get a second story for some more large warehouses. Also, get some overhangs on top of some of these underground piles, because then we can do something similar. We can get some more storages. I don't know if we want to do maybe medium warehouses and then large warehouses on top of that. And then we have another bad tide approaching. Food is starting to go down a little bit. Okay, what we're going to do, I'm going to do something temporary. We're just going to try and get some food established. I'm not going to worry about getting my whole permanent farm set up, but instead we'll just get a pretty basic farm set up. But we do need to connect it in. Add in a farmhouse. This is all temporary. You can reach a lot. We'll start with some beehives. We can leave the beehives because this is going to be where they are, because they're in a good grid fashion. We just have to make sure they can reach it all. Barely out of reach. And then plant some crops. We have wheat we haven't planted yet. We can plant some of that. Some more potatoes. We can adjust all this down the road. Do some more carrots. Might rearrange this part later. We'll let them work on this, and then these guys, we could do even more, honestly. Okay, so while they're working on that, we're at least getting some food planted. The reason why, so we're going to get the zip lines rearranged, but first I want to make sure we have this second story at least laid out. We don't need to have it all constructed, but I want to know what we're going to do there so we can get the zip lines efficiently tied into this system. So I think that we should have some more storages on top of here. Kind of hoping they can't reach these. We'll do 4. And they can reach some of them. They can reach that one. And then for some overhangs, we could go like this. We could do some dirt blocks on top of there, or we can just replace some of these with other overhangs. Is that what we want to do? Maybe not. If we add in one more dynamite. Okay, I'm gonna check what you guys said. Both those will go at the same time for the cores. And then Games Nation, you said the same thing. On those two, I might want to check underneath to make sure they don't contaminate my pressure system underground. 13 viewers. I think that might be the most that we've had on a live stream. Jay Sean, you love potatoes. Let's take a quick look. I think that we blocked that off, didn't we? We have the sluices. Ooh. You know, we can do an easy workaround. Thank you for noticing that, Sand Artist. But what we'll do, we'll just make some levees around here. And then we already have it so that there's not going to be any water coming this direction. Because we have the sluices set up. And then as long as you make sure no bad water gets into here, then we'll be fine. We'd be fine in terms of it not getting into our water system, but it could contaminate. Well, maybe not. It might be far enough offset that it wouldn't contaminate us. But we just don't need to have bad water in here. So what we can do... What's the best way to get over here? Probably just walking, I guess. And then we just want to make sure that our walking path is not within those limits. We walk right next to it. And then it's 2 offset, so that's there. Okay, so they'll work on that. This guy's done. Remove him. Prioritize these guys by haulers. Help them be a little bit more efficient. We have 18 vacant jobs. That is not good. Pause this. We added this in. We've probably added some more jobs that I'm not following. This guy looks like he's working down below. We don't need him doing that. Let's see. I think that we're fine on jobs at the moment. They are planting all the crops. He can reach a lot over here. We'll do some more wheat. I know we can't reach all of it, but that's okay. Really starting some. So we have this. Oh yeah, I wanted to... Yeah, get that done. So we need some overhangs over here. We'll go like this. Go with the 5. And then we can do some 4s. And then over here, maybe do some 4s and replace some of these, because we won't be able to go over this. And then this will give us another access point to go up. But we can lower these on the priority list, not essential. And then we'll get some storages. Then we can continue going up. So I don't think we need to build that out quite yet. But we have this over here. I want to replace these houses with some double and triple lodges. We can go triple right here. And then a triple next to it. Triple, triple, double. Let's remove these. And then I'm not worried about the bad tide. Is it gonna bump? Let's just collect. Okay, good. They're doing that. Build that and this. And then how will they get up here? Look at that, we have this already set up. And then we can get the path set up. So we have this. We'll replace both of these with some double lodges. Let's first super high prioritize this, because I want to collect all that, and then we can add those houses in. Oh, they're trying to build that first. We can do this. We can lower this one. Okay, I'm getting so focused on the task at hand. What have you guys said? Work on wood production. Don't forget about wood. Thought about large pumps to save on some labor. Hello, Notorious. I don't think that I've seen you in the live streams before, but welcome. Yes. So to answer, or to address all your guys' concerns, definitely need to focus on wood. Oh, shoot. That's the bad water seat. Dang it. Okay, so we need to go like this, and then have this set to close above contamination, and we'll drop that down to 2%. I think we're kind of screwed. All these crops are going to die. I completely forgot about bad water during a bad tide. This has not been a water source that we've really used. You know what we should do is actually this. We can remove a couple of these, collect them, and then we'll set some sluices over here. That is not what I wanted to click. These will be set to close below contamination. Let's have it set to 5%. We don't really need to worry about them constructing this quite yet. So it is unfortunate. We can just pause this guy for now. Also, I forgot to pause all my water pumps. Copy settings. So in terms of water pumps, I'm definitely going to rearrange all those. We'll need to work on this a bit more. And then for wood production, we're going to add in, I think some foresters over here would be a good idea. In fact, we should probably get some set up. And now we can make it over here. And then one thing we will do is we'll get some of the zip lines rearranged so it's easier, because right now this is not an efficient way for this guy to plant trees. He has to zip line here and then walk all the way across. Should get over a little bit though. Also get some more lumberjack flags. And we'll probably want to get some storage over here as well. We have that to work on. They can't reach any of that. Let's bump these up a little bit because we do have some homeless beavers. And then we just have to add a couple more. So we have that sorted. We can't go on top of this unless we use overhangs, which we very much could use some overhangs. Ooh, you know what? Instead, we have enough signs for all this. Famous last words, I don't need to worry about bad tide. Yeah. As I was saying that, I was like, yeah, it's probably fine, but clearly it wasn't. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, sand artists. Luckily no beavers got sick. Games Nation an incident. It almost was. If any beavers were walking in the water, they would have been impacted. I can divert the river instead of damming the area where 2 cores are present. Divert the river. Oh, I still have it paused, but we can unpause it. Divert the river. Well, we have this bad water source up here, so I mean, we could. Well, you actually, that'll save us on a lot of wood. Let's remove all this because you were actually completely right. Because as long as you put just a couple levees right here and then shift the river over, that'll be a much more efficient solution. I like that. We still have no unstable cores yet. It's only 2 away. We'll do that. And then it looks like they should be able to reach all this. Recover those logs. Thank you, Games Nation. That was a good catch. Then we won't have to worry about bad water coming in here. We don't have to dam the whole thing up. In fact, they can reach that. We can remove this one. Need to keep these ones. I do want to bump this up. I want to make sure they have this stuff ready. And then over here, I was thinking about using the metal platform. Because if we did the 5, we're just slightly limited in where we can place it because of the stairs. Alternatively, what else could we do? I mean, if I place it right here, remove this set of stairs, move the stairs over here for the spiral staircase, then we could get up. That could work. Over here. We have enough science, we can place that one down. It makes it pretty simple. But do we really need it? That's that's a very valid question. I don't think we need it. Namaste, Games Nation. Good one, Lucky. Okay, we can press play. Honestly, oh, look at that. They built that immediately. And they'll be able to reach both of those. And they will eventually collect that. Okay, so I wanted to get this figured out. So what do we even want to do above here? Because if we place down some overhangs or platforms. On top of it, what can we build? There's probably some well-being stuff we could do. We can't do the campfire. We kind of can do the rooftop terrace. We could do some single houses and then do more rooftop terraces on top of those. We also have not done any monuments. So we could do some of those nearby. Decorations we always have as an option. What about well-being? Contemplation spots, we should fit some of those in. Agora is ground only. Carousel requires power. We do have the dance hall. And the mud pits. Neither of those require power. And neither of them require to be on the ground. So maybe it would be worth putting these in, because some of those buildings are quite big. We have this. I would probably rearrange this one. And then we could also... Oh, they go up this way. Although we don't need... We can shift the path over a little bit. Okay, I think I am liking this more and more. So hopefully you guys are following. If you aren't, I don't blame you. But so what I'm going to do, we're going to install this. And then we're going to move the stairs so it's over here instead of them going up this way. We can also remove this one, and then we can have some stairs that go up to reach this as well. So we'll have a few different ways that they can get to the top. And then once we at least have a second path to get up here, in fact, we want to remove this. And then we can't remove this quite yet. I mean, we could, but we don't want to. But we will remove this path, and then we'll get some stairs set up. Okay. I think we can also remove this one. We'll place that right here. And cycle 12 is beginning. And then we get the rooftop terraces. And so, with having all this set up, let's prioritize getting the zipline station planned out. Because if we get one to the center, then that'll just make it super easy to connect everything in. This will just kind of be a central hub. So do you want to place it right here? I feel like that'd be close enough to pretty much everything. Or do we have one over here instead? This one might, or we could do, because also we're going to have some platforms over here so they can actually reach all these storages. And then we have more storages over here. These are going to be the smaller ones. I think that we can have those storages push back a little bit. Maybe like... Do we want to have something over here? Hello, Rick Diriendo. I haven't built the mega reservoir yet. Yeah, that's not super high on my list at the moment. We have started a new wet season though. We're doing great on water. How do we not go down at all? Oh, I did have it paused for a while. But we can start unpausing the water pumps. You always want to build a reservoir shaped like a giant beaver. That would be interesting, Jay Sean. Water coming out of its mouth. Honestly, that would be pretty cool. Maybe that's a future mega build idea. So we have the 2 metal platforms set up. We are running a little bit low on metal blocks now. Scrap metal is also not looking good. These guys are so far away. We probably need some more scrap metal collectors. On the bright side, they did make it all the way over here. So we have that whole system set up. We haven't added any houses yet, right? Let's get this last one constructed. This one connects in right here. I will say I kind of do miss having the new way to scroll adjust your terrain display, because used to be you could press Alt and then just move your mouse and it would change it, but it sounds like a lot of people did not like that. I got used to it. At first it was definitely weird, but it wasn't too bad after using it a little bit. Oh my goodness, how do we get up here? Okay, and then we can go across to connect in. So for the zip lines, one over here, one on the back side. One close enough that it makes sense. Maybe we just have one in the middle. Well, actually, we should have a few that go over here. So we can go... We gotta make a little transfer station, because there's not just one spot that it needs to go to. We'll go like this. And then we can remove this one because we can get up a different way. Then we'll place this down. This is going to reduce how many metal blocks we have by quite a bit. Also, let's move these a little bit. Let's actually go up one more. Go like this. Oh, we can also do that. So we can make some quirky connections. They should add some sort of like zipline station that has a smaller radius but connects to way more than just 2. Because that would be super helpful. If I could just have 1 or 2 of those in the middle and that branches off, that'd be pretty nice. Okay, so I'm feeling good about this. We need to connect that last staircase in. So we have that. We can't put as many of the other buildings over here as I was originally planning on, but that's okay. Still have some other stuff we can definitely squeeze in here. Get more houses. Houses can go on top of this. We don't have access to everything over here quite yet. We honestly don't even need to have a path. We could just do... We could do some zipline stations. Over here. Instead, let's see, we're going to go like this. We'll go across. And then... maybe go like this. And then we can also go... yeah. Okay, this is a slow and arduous process, but we're making progress. So I can add storages on top of here. And then we also want to make sure we have a zipline station over here. I think for now, we'll just toss one right here, connect that into this one. Or no, we'll switch that. We'll connect this one in to this one. Okay. Sorry, I have been so focused on getting this set up, but unstable core. What the heck? There's another one? Uh-oh. Doesn't look like that connects in, but it is going to be some bad water. We did block this off, so that should be fine. Let's see. Unstable core, storage instead of platforms under the zip lines. That is true. Actually, no, we're gonna, well, we could do some of it. I want some of these to be platforms so that we can walk underneath there, but we could do some of them as storages. And then we could have them prioritized by haulers for some of the foods. Dang it, you guys give good suggestions. Then I need to redo some of the stuff that I'm doing. Remove that one. Remove that one because I need to finish this metal first. We know we need to have it go this way. We could replace these two. These two. And then we'll go the same over here. I do want it to be kind of symmetrical. What a couple small storages. Small warehouse. What are we going to put in here? Not sure yet, but that's okay. And add the zip lines back in. And then this guy, add connection. This one will connect in after they actually construct it, because we'll start replacing some of these zip lines. And then, let's see, almost like a mini mega build. And I seal off the core. Yes, I sealed off the one under here. It's a random core. I think they start closest and move outward. Also out of wood and planks. We have some planks. Wood is running low, although let's prioritize these by haulers. And then we probably also need to add some more haulers. We have 22 children. Oh my gosh. 15% for and 5%, 15, 10, 5. Okay, so we have just a million new babies. So we have... Wait for them to finish that. We're so short on metal blocks. I don't know how I did not prioritize these by haulers before. We're going to temporarily get a small pile. Also, set it to this. High prioritize. Obtain. Prioritize by haulers. So those are both there. We do have power. We should be good. Yeah, we have enough power. So we have a lot of trees. So now they should be able to collect more wood. We have a good amount of trees over here, which is excellent. This... Oh, we need to... Oh, well, that's why. I had it so it's just basically impossible for that to work. This one we're going to bump up to 5%. And then this one will go down to 2%. Because really, unlike other, like a water source, this will just stop pumping water out. And so this will be in the sweet spot, but in a bad way, the bad spot. Where if it's in between 2 and 5% contamination, they would have both been closed, but now we switched it. So when it's super contaminated, this will be open, and then as it drops down to 5%, this one will open up, and this one will stay open until it drops below 2%. So at a certain point we'll have both of these open, but I'd rather have just a hair of contamination go through here than have it stop like we had it before. And we did not mark any trees. And this guy isn't planting any trees either. Let's start with... Ooh. We're just gonna go full send and do oak. I need to make sure though that we definitely have... We're not gonna get contaminated over here. Look at that. Lots of bad water. Yikes. 8 vacant jobs. We can pause this. Uh-oh. Okay, let's do an audit of the jobs. Builder's hut, we have 2 of them that are completely unoccupied. Oh wait, one's paused. That's the one over here. We have these 2 jobs that are basically all vacant. That's 7. And then what else? 4 inventors huts. 7 plus 4 is 11. That's all of them. But we're gonna have a bunch of babies growing up soon. And then what should we do for this? We're maxed out on pine resin and gears. That is interesting. Berries, we have some. I think we'll want to do like... Oh wait, not punch cards. We can do some of the foods. Fruit potatoes and then sunflower seeds. And then we have a lot of these ones. Switch this to gears. Switch this to pine resin or paper. I think we'll go with pine resin. And then this one we can switch to paper. Berries. And then as soon as... Oh wait, will they ever be able to build this? No, because they can't reach over here. Whoopsies. Okay, so how do you want to get up here? Let's do it like this. Oh, that's a... Yikes. Okay, so they just cannot get over here unless I... Oh, look at that. He's going to build it. And then they can't get over here. Cool. Okay, so metal blocks are the limiting factor. Scrap metal's not doing great, but it's doing okay. We're pumping out as many metal blocks as we can right now. But we need to get some more. So maybe temporarily we get some smelters. Oh, we can't do it that close. Let's just get a bunch of metal blocks. Pump all those up. Okay. We once again have some bad water hanging out in here. We are also not going to plant trees on this backside, because this is where I want to do that reservoir. And I know Jay-Sean would be happy to see that. Yes, you guys did warn me about the wood shortage. Oh, let's add some stairs. Give them access to a little bit more wood. And then move one of these guys over here. In fact, we'll just move both of them over here. We do have a good amount of trees, so really, let's just toss a good amount of extra lumberjack flags over here. Chop those trees down because we're starting to have some of those children grow up. Unpause that builder's hut, just have a little bit of a buffer for some jobs for them. And then we can have up to 11. We'll make this builder's hut super low. It's still above these jobs. Use that of paper. Okay, we're getting some more smelters over here also. And then let's do another storage. We'll do 2. Scrap metal. All this. This will be metal blocks. Supply. And then bump both these up. Are all trees marked for cutting? Oh, that's a good point. I forget that quite a bit. You have all these ones. Have these ones that I left so that we can have the tapper shack get access to them. So we can reach all of these. I think it's just we don't have... These guys are just getting... They're chopping the trees down and then the haulers are not able to remove everything. Which we probably also need another hauling post. So we can actually get one set up over here. Oh, I removed... Oh no. We just need to bump that up. Then we can finish all that. We now have some more lumberjack flags, which will help with the trees. We still have 13 children, and I think a lot of them are going to be growing up. Oh, we have a lot of them that are brand spanking new. 15%. Wait, oh no, looking in the wrong spot. 96%. 74, 94. Yeah, let's add another hauling post. Over here, this will be the lowest. Bump it up to 10. This will be where the jobs... This will be like our overflow area. Actually, we'll go down. Hopefully we can have this builder's hut stay lowest. And they're actually sitting around. So they need stuff to do. What can we have them do? Wood's starting to go up, which is excellent. Let's pause this guy for now. Have some more haulers. Pause this guy. Oh, well now they probably have stuff to work on, so let's unpause them again. We are slowly... No, we're not going up metal blocks yet. We have a backlog of work. But we do need to increase our production area. 80 scrap metal. We're still going down in scrap metal. Remove this. Collect it. Make a temporary bad water pump to get bad water out of the water seep river. And we'll turn around. That is true. We could put some over here. Unstable core, 3 days. It's not a bad idea. I don't think it goes down very far. It only goes 2. So we can't go from up here, which would have been nice. Go from over here. Yeah, I don't love having bad water over here, so let's do that. Oh yeah, we removed that connection. This guy's planted a lot of crops, and hopefully they don't die this time. Food is starting to go down though, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. Some of these goods. What should we bump up? We'll do paper in here, so we can switch this to something different. We'll do wheat. Also need to add this back in. Have some more wheat. Ooh, we'll need a grist mill. Wheat flour. Yeah, I think it's time we expand our production. We are in the process of planting trees. We should also get a tooth grindstone over here. We'll be rearranging these at some point. But at least it's laying the groundwork so that we can let time work for us and start, you know, helping to grow those trees up. And then we can also get a storage. Set that to bad water. Let's see. Yeah. You're right, Sand Artist. There's a lot of people here. Everyone's talking. This is a lot of fun. Yeah, I mean, you guys have caught stuff. Several things already. And then Notorious, you said block the area with levees and let it evaporate. Yeah, we could do that. It eventually would evaporate. This will be a little bit more active. So we have a good amount of beavers. So we can do that. We are short on planks. Let's go back and focus on production. I think it's time we remove these berries, because we actually need the space now. I'm not going to get rid of all of them, because I do want to have some berries. We'll plant some more over here. Just kind of a little bit of a backup. A way to process spatter dock. Yes, and then you notice that. You see it's being processed, but we could add more. That is true. We have a good amount of extra spatter dock. We also have a good surplus of spatter dock, so I'm not too worried about adding in extra processing yet. When our population goes up more, we'll think about that. But for now, we're fine. Large water pumps and more water storage would set me up for the future. Yeah, we're at 3,500. Yeah, I want to get this set up. I probably should focus on that. We have trees being planted. We could even do more. We just have a lot. And then, let's see, we have food. We're in a good spot. We'll need to get some more production set up. Yeah, right now we don't have some of the materials we need. So like planks, we're running desperately low on that. Metal blocks, we're starting to climb back up. Over here, on top, we could get some more overhangs. Oh yeah, but I wanted to do something similar over here. We do not need to have storage for any of this. What we can do, unlock some of these smaller ones. Might as well just finish it off. And then if you want to get power over here, we can go over top. And then, so what's the benefit of doing overhangs versus something else? So we could get some storage below, but I don't know how necessary that is. I do like that we had the small storages that are close by, because then we could prioritize those by haulers, and then have that just be basically supply stations. So maybe we do something kind of like that. We have some stairs going under here. We go all along this, and we still have some small piles, and then maybe some small warehouses. So all the raw materials that we would need would be logs. I guess not raw, but the materials that we would need for other production. Dirt, I don't think we need dirt. Metal blocks. And that might be it. This will be set to prioritize, obtain. We could do the same for this. Same for this. We don't use metal blocks to construct anything, so this could be supply. And then we should be able to get some overhangs over some of this. Oh no, we can't go over. Is it over the sides? What? I thought we could on this piles. Quick test. Oh, you can't go over the piles. Not a fan. Well, we might be able to leave it and then just not have overhangs over that. Maybe that's what we do. Then we just do overhangs. And we don't really need the path over here. We had the berries. I'm trying to think. Large water pumps. Dirt to expand the land. Yeah, I do need to get the dirt excavator up and running. I think order of operations for production, which is not, this is not what I'm going to do for everything, but just for the production side of things, I need to get more plank production, more gear production, more metal block production, and then I want to unlock all the bot parts, start placing those buildings down. We are still doing good on power, but I'll need to consider that as we move forward. I think I'll upgrade some of these windmills. But so once we get some of those buildings to produce more of the materials, then we can do the bot parts and bot part factories. And then after that, dirt, and I want to remove all this bramble. But that's just on the production side. That's not what I'm doing for everything. I still need to rearrange the zip lines. And I still need to select something for this storage. I cannot imagine we'll get to that many explosives, but we might need that down the road. I thought I added more berry storage, but I guess not. So do I have... I don't think I really need to do overhangs here. I think I could just do some storages and platforms. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Ooh, but if we... Well... I was going to say we should get some small storages for those bot parts, but I don't think we're going to have it exactly right here. Although we could. You never know. Let's just start like this. Because these are really cheap to construct. And then it'll just be easy to have it. Paper. No, pine resin. Paper. We're doubling up on a lot of storages, but that's okay. And so then we gotta get that power shaft all the way over here. Now we can start doing unstable core that's going to detonate. Let's do 3. We need to move this. And then we'll get another smelter. Let's watch this one detonate. We should see nothing spectacular happen. Because that, yeah. So this is just going to fill up with bad water. Ooh, it might contaminate right here. You know, I didn't think about that. So, yikes. It's going to kill some crops. Hopefully this is the extent of it. Is there anything we could do? That's all underground. There is no way we're reaching that. I guess before I could have made the dams a little bit closer, but hindsight. So we're going to lose some crops. It's not the end of the world. We'll just move a farmhouse over here. And then let's plant some more sunflower seeds. Poor farm just can't catch a break. Too true. We have 16 vacant jobs though. But then again, we have this is the lowest. This one is still the lowest, but is occupied. Oh, because we have the inventor sets. Cool, so we can have 10 plus 4 plus another 4. So we can have 18 jobs that are vacant and not bat an eye. Now let's bump this up. We gotta get some power going. We have a lot of trees, or a lot of wood I should say. And we're still chopping wood down. Wood storage is kind of close. I think we need to rearrange the zip lines now. Because we have these all working. This needs to connect into stuff. So, where do you want everything to go? This one could connect. Ooh, do you want to go to that one? Yeah, I think we do. That one goes here. So that's a connection point. This one, if this one will be able to reach. This is... Oh, this could reach? No way. That's cool. We can go over here. Or else we don't need to keep all these ones. I think we don't need to have this right here. We could shift this over maybe closer to the water pumps. That might be handy. So we could go this one down to there. This one. Oh wait, this guy, he already has his 2, so he's done. This guy could go right here. We also probably want to go up to this one. Go here. Dun 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 dun. How do we want to do this? Let's remove these. I think we want to... Well, but then again, we're not going to have water pumpers here in the long run. We're going to have them up here. So... But we still have food. I think we can put one here. I think that would still be useful. Because we have the water storage. Which we can also rearrange that. But we'll want to have access to the crops and some of these water activities. We're just getting hit with bad tides left and right. This one should be fine. But we'll keep an eye on it. Could always use contamination barriers. No planks. Am I building more wood workshops? Ooh, we should unpause this. Okay, we have so many vacant jobs. We do have builders' huts sitting around. Have we built everything that we need to? We have not. Let's get this. Oh, is that in the way? Okay, we gotta remove this zipline connection. Add this one in. And then let's... Oh my goodness. Remove that. Add that connection to here. Add this connection to here. Alternatively... Oh wait. Alternatively, we get rid of this. Have this one go over here. That probably makes more sense. And this one, we have a zipline station right here. Also have this one. How close is it? We're pretty much as far as we can be. We could shift it over just a little bit. I need to do some rearranging. You could shift some of these farms over. We'll have one here, one on this side, one over here maybe. We'll hold off on that for now. We have those two, which is good. That one's there. More water storage. Got pumpers not pumping. Have farmer storage on contaminated area. Seep sluice is set to always open. Oh, did I? Ooh, good catch. Good catch. See, that's why I have you guys. Okay, so that's set to auto. Close above contamination of 5%. This one will close below contamination of 2%. So when the contamination goes up, once it hits 2, it'll trigger this. This one will open. This one will stay open until it hits 5%, and then it closes. So now we should be good. That was a good catch, Games Nation. We can also fill in some of these trees. I think this guy also needs some help. I don't think he's able to get all these trees on his own. So let's send in the backup squad. And we don't have anything. Oh yeah, we also need to get some zip lines over here. And then I wanted to move some stuff onto this. Yeah, do we want to get some storage? What could we store here? This guy's made good progress. Not a whole lot of bad water left in there. Let's see. We can put a zip line. And then one over here. One over here. Because we'll shift this one more to the middle, I think. We could have another farm over here. I know one of you guys a while ago recommended to have the farms spread out and not just all in one spot, which is a good idea. Let's see, Notorious, you said switch builders haulers priority since builders are sitting around doing nothing. It is true. We could bump this up and then lower a couple of these. Because we have this set to lowest. We could lower that one. Then bump that up. We do we have 25 vacant jobs. We need to get some more houses and more beavers. And in order to do that, we'll need to go up in elevation. Can we even fit them? We can. We can go up an entire other level. Although I built those really close. Not the best. Didn't really think about needing to go. Let's see. If we shift these back one, then we could make it pretty easy to get up. So let's do that. We'll remove this one first. And then let's make sure we bump this up on the priority list. Still want to keep this one up here active. These for now. The connection to this. Once they've constructed the platforms, we can ship this back at the beginning of the day. And then let's add in those platforms. Oh, we already have those. Then we'll get some more houses. And at this point, I think we probably don't want to keep going up because then we're going to start impacting the zip lines. So we should start getting some decorations over here. And then that's just going to impact every beaver below. So this is going to be very helpful. And so temporarily what we can do is set this up. And then we can get that. And then go to well-being, or not well-being, decorations. We have nothing unlocked. We have 10,000 science, so let's just unlock all of this. Just going through everything. Hedge is no benefit. These are all not beneficial. So let's start with the small radius ones. Those. And then we can get scarecrow. 3 tiles. And then beaver statue. And then we get some roofs on the top afterwards. But that's going to bump us up a bunch. Let's see what they're all worth. This is all aesthetics. Oh, we can't check in there. If we check in here, go to a beaver. I always forget if you click on the picture or the name. Let's go with the picture. Okay, that's good. Aesthetics. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we'll get 9 well-being points if we install all those. I think we did right. We're missing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, the roof. We'll get the roof up in the end. And then let's also double check that we're not going to kill our crops. Good, that worked. It closed. This opened. Life is good. This is going to be draining away a little bit. So we do want to think about getting... Oh, it's going backwards. Let's get some sluices over here. They won't be able to reach it though. Way along this way. That one first. And then this one will be lower. So we have all this that they're working on. I think we want to bump some of these up also. We'll get the roofs on at the end. Huge well-being boost is going to be coming our way. We can probably also get some of the monuments. 1,000 signs, we have enough for that. This is the smallest radius, but even this should reach everything if we have it right here. Now do we go up one more? I don't think we can fit storages on top, so we'll just leave that like this. And then I don't think they can reach it. But we can solve that. It's just how we want to get over there. I think we'll go this way. It's not going to be the most efficient route, but it's a route. And then we can get another monument unlocked, 3,000. So we're going to start being way more efficient. Lucky said about sluice first. Oh, you did? Man, Lucky, I'm missing some of your messages today, it seems. The farm survived. Don't forget to hit like. Thanks, Sand Artist, promoting it for me. We're making good progress in today's episode. We have cleared the bad water out. We have trees. We have crops. We have no way to process that wheat. But we're in the process of increasing our production. And this is there. We're just burning through our planks pretty quickly. So. We have a good amount of wood storage. We're up to about 1,000. And then for all you guys, do you guys have the option to stream in 1080p? I know that that was something you guys asked about last episode. And so I went through, found my stream settings were not set to allow that, but now it should be. So if you can't see it, please let me know, because I want to just make sure it's all working. We should probably focus on this reservoir more. And then part of that is also, let's see, if we shift this over one, or if we rotate it, by removing these, we can do another mini transfer station with this one. Bye, games. Glad that you were here. Jishun, you said it's working. Did someone say reservoir? You did. So we have, let's see, we have one sluice. We will be using that. The edge of the reservoir, though. We could keep going out. I don't know how much, because this is not like a great reservoir location, to be honest. We can use some of it over here. How far down do the pumpers go? This one goes 4 tiles deep. So if we had it up 2 tiles at this elevation, we go down another 2 from this one, right? Go down 1, go down 2. Yeah, so we can go down. Well, being's starting to kick up. Go down 2, all along here. All along here. And then 1 down all along here. And then we can triple all of this. Basically just to take advantage of all of this green space. Or future green space. Honestly, we could just keep going back this direction. And then triple. We're just going single over here because we'll need to do 2 sets of dynamite. Okay, we have some stuff. We have 29 vacant jobs. We also have 23 baby beavers. Once again, 15, 20%, 25%. Let's see, what about finding a mountain and blasting it out to help with the reservoir? I'm not entirely sure what you mean about that. We have all this dynamite we can place down. Can we actually reach? Yeah, we should be able to reach it. We also... Oh yeah, I wanted to get some more zip lines set up. Can they reach any of this? They cannot. Unfortunately, we need to go like this. Then we can reach it. Okay, we have a lot of jobs that are vacant. Have we added any recently? We added in some of those lumber mills. We're just going to keep blasting away at science. Also, I need to pause all the water pumpers. I always forget. We're doing great on water, so we're going to unpause these fluid dumps. Look at that. Well-being's going up. Have a good amount of logs, so they're building that. Planks we have some. Not doing great, honestly. Let's prioritize all of these by haulers. Oh, and we are out of water. I realized it too late. Let's prioritize these by haulers. That one is. Well, good thing we have 1,200 spatterdock saved up, because we're going to have some that dies, unfortunately. Oh, these guys are done. We can get rid of them, save on a couple of jobs. And then collect that last little piece of wood. Get rid of all of this. We're actually starting to burn through our scrap metal quite a bit over here. So let's start thinking about getting this mine up and running. It takes a lot of gears, treated planks. We just need to add in that path. Also, I'm seeing we have basically no treated plank storage. Interesting. 1, 2, 3. If we do this, we can remove those and then get another, at least one underground pile set up. We'll have that set to treated planks. Make sure we have a good amount. I'll honestly pause one of these bad water pumps. We're not using a whole lot. We have the gear workshop paused. We don't really need that going yet. We got a lot of trees over here. And over here. And we add that connection back in. Honestly, no reason for them to not be connected at the moment. Find a way to pressurize it from the bottom and then fill it up that way. If only there's a large area filled with water stored when we need, like, bad tides or droughts. Like a reservoir. Thankfully we have all this they will eventually start working on. I think once some of the beavers start growing up and we have more workers, then they'll be able to start going through that pretty quickly. Thankfully we have a good amount of explosives, but we will need to prioritize this Make sure we keep going. I like all the emojis you do, Jay-Sean. Okay, we're up to 22 for our well-being. It's a good little bonus. Let's do for the roof. Decoration. We'll do one right here, and then one over here. I know we could just do one in the middle, but I want to do something symmetrical. And then we're super low on planks. They're putting a lot into here. Can remove this, because they can reach both of these. Oh no! Why was he going up there? Okay. I'm not started working on that yet, that's okay. Well, it was a baby beaver, he was just hanging out up there. What a guy. Okay, so they started. Well, they're making good progress. This guy is planting some trees. In fact, we can keep going. Oh, we can't plant that one. Man, we already have a lot of lumber mills, and even then we're not producing enough planks. Sacrifice to the beaver gods. No, we don't want the baby beaver being sacrificed. We are above that. Unpause that one. So we didn't make a whole lot of progress on this reservoir. I think this is just going to be a good place to house the water pumpers. But in reality, we're not going to have much extra that we pump from here during the droughts and bad tides. It'll mainly just prevent this area from drying up like it has been. I think that we'll take advantage of this area over here. This will be a reservoir that we can use. I think I'll want to segregate this section so we'll have a reservoir area that will not get pumped out. So we'll pump out basically this half of it and then all the way back into here. But we'll pump this part out, won't pump this out, and we'll just need to put a line right through there. That way we can keep this all irrigated. And this is already starting. Ooh, the only thing I don't like is that this could close because it's so close. Oh man. We're going to be in a similar position. We just need to be like way less strict. That's a 1%. We just need to bump that up. Oh. Okay, it did work. I think we dropped that down to 1%. We raise this one up to like 10%. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's not too much bad water that's gonna be in here. We could also shift it backwards a little bit. So we could shift them right here. Do we want to go farther back at all? It's like right next to it. Because we could go like right along here. Or even just like just directly touching it. Something like that. And then we have it go along like this. Why not? Then we could even push the reservoir farther back. Okay, I have no idea how they can reach. How could they reach this? Oh, they can go. They go behind here. That is funny. Let's have them just finish constructing this. Okay, so we just wrapped up cycle 12. We're starting cycle 13. And I've been streaming for 3 hours. So, sorry that you just got back, Games Nation, but this is where we're going to wrap up today's stream. This is probably one of the best streams that we've had because there's so many of you who were able to join and participate in the chat. It's a lot of fun. Sand Artist, huge shout out to you for gifting all those memberships. So now we have 5 more channel members. It's much appreciated. And then let's just do a quick recap of what we went through today. We made a little bit of progress on this reservoir, not a whole lot. We have almost gone through all the scrap metal over here. We have access to the mine. We will be constructing that mine in the next episode. We started refining our zipline stations. We will continue to work on that in the next episode. We expanded into this section, which I think was probably the biggest thing. So now we have a bunch of trees. We have a lot more crops. And then we also have another water source that we have access to, which is fantastic. Let's see, we expanded our housing and our storage up here. Production, ooh, we're out of power. That is something to keep in mind. So we'll need to upgrade our windmills and probably get some more gravity batteries set up. So we'll start working on that in the next episode or the next live stream. So I think that's it. It's kind of those are the big things. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope to see you guys in the next one. And hopefully we can get